Newshour Special Edition.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching the Newshour Special Edition with me, Priya Baghel. And now viewers, in election season, it is commonplace to see instances of wads of money being seized by cops. It's unfortunate, but it does happen, and it happens very often. So when 5.39 crore rupees were recovered from Asim Das in Raipur and later from his residence in Bhilai, little could anyone imagine that it would become the biggest political controversy in poll-bound Chhattisgarh. It assumed significant proportions after Enforcement Directorate alleged that the promoters of Mahadev betting app paid regular bribes to the Chief Minister, citing 500 crore rupees as the amount paid. However, since day one, Chief Minister Baghel has rubbished all these allegations, drawing a BJP link to the alleged money trail. Instead, he has also questioned that while it was his government and his police that first launched a probe against the promoters of Mahadev, the central agencies are the one who have failed to arrest the main suspects even after a lookout notice had been issued against them.
इससे बड़ा मजाक और क्या हो सकता है कि आप किसी सूबे के मुख्यमंत्री पे किसी आदमी से मार पीट के या दबाव डाल के बुलवा दो, मैं किसी को पकड़ लूं और बोल दूंगा यदि प्रधानमंत्री का नाम लेने के लिए, तो क्या प्रधानमंत्री से पूछताछ करेंगे? मतलब किसी की इज्जत उछालना बहुत आसान हो गया। 500 से अधिक लोगों की गिरफ्तारी की है हमने।
इसका मतलब आपके संबंध हैं, आपके उसे संपर्क है, और संपर्क है तो उसको गिरफ्तार क्यों नहीं करते? जो सोनी है, वो सौरभ चंद्राकर है, रवि उपल है, इसकी गिरफ्तारी क्यों नहीं हो रही है? और महादेव बंद क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? लगातार चल रहा है। इसका मतलब ये है कि आपके संबंध है प्रधानमंत्री जी, आपकी पार्टी के लोगों के संबंध है और आपके लोगों के द्वारा लेन देन हुआ है, इस कारण से उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई नहीं हो रही। मेरा सीधा आरोप है और उसके कारण हमको बदनाम कर रहे हैं। लुकआउट सर्कुलर जारी हो गया है तो उसकी गिरफ्तारी क्यों नहीं हो रही है? इसका मतलब ये है कि आपके लेन देन हो चुका है। पूरे देश में तो इससे बड़ी कार्रवाई कहीं नहीं हुई जितना छत्तीसगढ़ की पुलिस ने किया। अब उसके बाद उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे। यदि संलिप्तता होती हम कार्रवाई क्यों करते हैं? इतने सारे लोग क्यों कार्रवाई करते? इनकी संलिप्तता है। फोटो देखिए ना, राजभवन वाली फोटो।
However, now a fresh twist has emerged in the case. BJP is citing a new video, a series of videos in fact, that they claim are confessions of an alleged owner of Mahadev app who says that funds were sent to poll-bound Chhattisgarh, and they have also linked it to Chief Minister himself. BJP is saying that this video has details of the bribe trail.
शुभम सारों को पता है कि रवि और सौरभ मालिक है महादेव ऐप के, और साले 2 बियर खींच के तू बन जाता है मालिक है।
अबे मैं 2 बियर खींचूं, 4 बियर खींचूं, मालिक तो मैं ही हूँ महादेव बुक का यार।
नहीं कैसे है तू?
कैसे क्या? तू इतना दिन दूर था भी मेरे से, इसलिए तेरे को पता नहीं है। तेरे को तू ऐसा बात कर रहा है। तू आ गया वो सोशल मीडिया देख के, जैसे लोग हल्ला कर रहे हैं सोशल मीडिया में कि कौन ओनर है कौन है, और तू किसका बात कर रहा हो भी मेरे को पता है। जहां तक मेरे को पता है सौरभ और रवि का ही बात कर रहा होगा तू, है ना? पेपर तो मेरे पास है ना भाई, महादेव बुक का ओनर तो मैं हूँ, पेपर तो मेरे पास है। देखेगा क्या? मोबाइल में पड़ा हुआ है। 4 साल से मेहनत क्यों? हंस रहा है यार। 4 साल से मेहनत क्यों भाई? जमीन से आसमान तक पहुंचाए बुक को।
नहीं, इतनी बड़ी शादी की उन्होंने, इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है, तुम्हारे पैनल वाले पकड़े गए, पैनल मेंबर, उन्होंने किसी ने तेरा नाम नहीं लिया, सब रवि और सौरभ का नाम ले रहे हैं, तो तेरी कहां से हो गई भाई?
अरे भाई वो मेरा, पहली बात तो शादी को जोड़ने का जरूरत नहीं महादेव बुक से। ऊपर से तेरे को बता रहा हूँ, मैंने यूज किया शादी को प्रमोशन के लिए अपने, ठीक है? मैंने यूज किया उसको और मेरा काम भी हुआ बहुत अच्छे से। और क्या बोल रहा, कौन पैनल पकड़ा गया क्या?
अरे जो तुम्हारे पैनल मेंबर पकड़े जाते हैं, फ्रेंचाइजी वाले।
पैनल मेंबर पकड़ा ही नहीं सकते भाई। मेरे ऊपर ऐसे आदमी का आशीर्वाद है ना, और मैं मिल के आया हूं ऐसे आदमी से कि मेरा एक आदमी पकड़ा नहीं सकता, पकड़ाया भी सुबह पकड़ाएगा शाम को छूट जाएगा।
कौन आदमी?
एक ही तो यार, अपने काका साहब। और कौन?
काका साहब कौन?
सीएम है यार, और कौन?
अच्छा,
तो क्या?
अच्छा,
तू क्या हल्के में लेकर रखा है क्या मेरे को?
अच्छा, सीएम घर आया सीएम तेरे?
सीएम घर नहीं आया भाई,
मिलने आया तेरे से?
सीएम मिलने नहीं आया, मैं गया था। और तू जानता ही होगा वर्मा को और गिरीश तिवारी को, सुना होगा ना मेरे मुंह से, कभी नाम सुना ही होगा एक आध बार। बस उन्होंने ही मेरा एसपी से सेटिंग करवाया और वहीं मेरा मीटिंग हुआ वहां पे, और वहीं से मेरे को जो आशीर्वाद मिला है, इतना बड़ा काम मेरा तभी हुआ है।
लेकिन सीएम क्यों करेगा यार? क्या बोल रहा है तू? क्यों करेगा कोई इतना सब? किसके लिए?
पैसे के लिए और काय के लिए? इतना बड़ा भाई, देख छत्तीसगढ़ छोटा सा स्टेट, वहां तो कुछ अमाउंट भी देगा तो बहुत बड़ा होता है, और मैंने ऐसा छोटा मोटा अमाउंट तो दिया नहीं है। जाने का क्या अमाउंट कितना दिया है?
बता।
450 से 500 रुपए तक का दिया हुआ है उधर अमाउंट, तब जाके आशीर्वाद मिला बेटा, ऐसे थोड़ी काम चल रहा है।
Now, there are some other videos as well, but more or less he makes similar allegations in all of them. Now, BJP is saying that these admissions of alleged Mahadev owner are the clearest proof yet of the link to the Chief Minister. BJP says that while a criminal investigation needs to be conducted to establish if there is any criminality or not, and his allegations can be verified or not, moral questions, they say, they are still arising and need to be answered by the Congress. The Congress and the rest of the India bloc, however, call it character assassination plot ahead of upcoming elections. And we want to reiterate here that Times now cannot verify the authenticity of that video.
अगर देश चाहता है कि भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त होना है तो भूपेश बघेल जी जैसे भ्रष्ट नेताओं के खिलाफ कड़ी कार्रवाई भी होनी चाहिए और जांच भी जल्दी होनी चाहिए। जो सट्टे के रास्ते सत्ता पाना चाहते हो, सट्टे के रास्ते सत्ता पाना चाहते हो, वो सत्य से बहुत परे है।
कि केंद्र की सरकार है, अपने अग्रिम संगठन ईडी आईटी उनको वापरने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, हमारे मुख्यमंत्री का चरित्र हनन करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। जहां तक इस सीडी का सवाल आप बोल रहे हैं, आपको ये भी याद दिला दूं कि महादेव ऐप के खिलाफ में सबसे पहले और सबसे ज्यादा केस जो है वो आदरणीय भूपेश बघेल की सरकार ने ही दर्ज किए हैं।
जिस ढंग की बातें एक व्यक्ति शुभम सोनी ने मीडिया में बोली हैं, मुझे लगता है, मैंने क्यों कहा कि ऐसे ऐसे नए डायमेंशन, छत्तीसगढ़ की सरकार, हम लोग बचपन से सुनते आ रहे हैं कि एक सरकार थी जिसने चारा में घोटाला किया था, इन्होंने गोबर में घोटाला किया। महत्वपूर्ण बात यह है कि पैसा विदेश कैसे गया और विदेश से कैसे आया, जांच एजेंसियां जांच कर रही हैं। पर ज्यादा गंभीर बात यह है कि पहले तो भ्रष्टाचार को उस निचले स्तर तक लाना कि जुए का पैसा प्रयोग करना, और उसके बाद खाड़ी के देशों में पैसा जाना।
बीजेपी became shaky, and now before Lok Sabha election, and the assembly elections, they are trying to disturb the opposition by misusing the central agencies.
Who has misused agencies is the big question here, and to decode that, I'm now joined by Sanju Verma of the BJP, Binay Singh, who's a political analyst, Kamru Choudhary, political analyst, and Sanjay Hegde, senior advocate, are with us on the broadcast. But before we come to you, gentlemen, there is a breaking development coming in. The IT ministry has just announced that they have banned 22 illegal betting apps, including the Mahadev app. The Minister of State for IT, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, has said that Chhattisgarh government could have made a similar recommendation and would have sought for a ban on Mahadev app, but despite probing the case for over a year and a half, they haven't done so, and now the centre had to take this decision on the recommendation of the Enforcement Directorate. Bhavtosh, what more can you tell us about this move by the centre?
Well, the center has issued a press statement saying that 22 apps which are in fact indulging in illegal betting, they have been banned. And they have said that within the past, even Chhattisgarh government could have recommended. But this follows the ongoing investigation that Enforcement Directorate is carrying out, not only in the Mahadev app case, but also in the other cases in which different apps have been used to in fact launder money and also to carry out illegal betting. But the point that one must look into is the fact that the minister concerned has also said the Chhattisgarh government could have also recommended banning of this app. Now, the entire controversy is that Chhattisgarh CM Bhupesh Baghel had said that if there is so much of problem with Mahadev app, then center should have banned this app. Just few hours back also, this app could have been easily downloaded from both iOS as well as from Google Play Store. And the government has now recommended banning of this app. As far as ED is concerned, Priya, the total laundering of money or proceeds of crime as far as this app is concerned is now over 5,000 crores of rupees.
All right. Thank you, Bhavtosh, for those inputs. But do stay on with me for a while. Kamru Choudhary, now what do you have to say about the charge that is being levelled by the Union Minister that Chhattisgarh government had all the power to recommend shutting down of the website or app under Section 69A IT Act. However, they did not do so.
Well, Priya, a very important question that you have been raising out here. It concerns the country's internal security as well as the country's internal financial watchdog mechanism that we have built up over the years. Now, one particular episode has exposed the incompetence of the BJP party government and its financial watchdogs of the country. And I'm very sorry to say, when China incurred into Indian territory, then what the most we did was the BJP party government banned the Chinese apps. Then some porn websites they banned. This was the reaction of the union government out here. Now this Mahadev betting app, let me understand what exactly it is. It is a multi-state, multinational betting scam. Now 1,600 accounts were opened by Mugang Mishra, it seems a BJP functionary, who was arrested by the Mumbai police under an FIR from the Pratapgarh police station of Rajasthan. Now, what was the finance ministry of the BJP party government doing? Why were 1,600 Benami accounts being allowed to be opened out here? Secondly, funds have been diverted from India to Dubai. How was this large-scale Hawala operations undertaken under the watchdogs of the PMLA in operation? You can't send a fund of more than 50,000 rupees outside India without the finance ministry coming to know about it. Come on.
Sanjay Verma.
Priya, this is a classic case of BJP party getting... No, let me finish. Priya, let me finish, please. Let me finish.
Please finish.
No, this is a classic case of character assassination by the BJP party government out here in trying to discredit the wonderful work done by our Chhattisgarh government and Bhupesh Baghel's government out there in Chhattisgarh. Just 3 days before the election, this Mahadev app scam was tried to be linked by the BJP party to the Congress government in Chhattisgarh. This is very unfortunate and below the belt by the BJP party government, and we all condemn it. And more or less on the ground level, this Mahadev betting app has got no what you call this on the ground, on the voters itself, because they all know this is an election gimmick done by a desperate BJP party out here.
BJP desperation and process is punishment. Outcome will come when it comes, but you just want to win the battle of perception.
Now, I hope I will not be heckled because I heard the lecture of this political analyst from the ... Alliance. I have this to say, and without beating around the bush, there was a tweet put out by, or should I say a post put out 2 days back by Jairam Ramesh. Same old trope, Modi ji डर गए, BJP डर गई, छत्तीसगढ़ में हमने बहुत काम किया है, we are going to win for the second time in a row, blah, blah, blah. And your audience needs to know this because I asked some questions, and the questions that I asked Jairam Ramesh are very pertinent because they expose the hypocrisy and the chaplacy of the Congress. जो कहते हैं ना कि हाथी के दांत खाने के और दिखाने के और, वही हाल है भूपेश बघेल का. And I'll tell you why. I asked Mr. Ramesh, stop this victimhood and answer the following questions. Did Bhupesh Baghel receive 508 crore? Yes or no? Asim Das, the human courier, says that he was the go-between the promoters of Mahadev app and Bhupesh Baghel. Yes or no? If Baghel is innocent as he claims, why is the ASI, Assistant Sub-Inspector of Police, Mr. Chandrabhushan Verma, he has named Bhupesh Baghel? So there is a smoking gun, number one. Why has ex-SP of Durg, Abhishek Pallav, a senior police officer, also named Bhupesh Baghel in the Mahadev betting scam? Smoking gun number two. Why has Shubham Soni, an employee of Mahadev app, also named CM Baghel? Smoking gun number three. Why has Baghel's advisor, Vinod Verma, and he has been Baghel's advisor for the longest time, also named Bhupesh Baghel? Smoking gun number four. Smoking gun number five. Why has Police Constable Bhim Yadav also named Bhupesh Baghel as being the key recipient of more than 500 crores? So you have more than 5 to 6 smoking guns with senior police officers, a senior advisor to Bhupesh Baghel, all saying that the buck stops at the Chief Minister's doorstep, the Chief Minister in this case being Bhupesh Baghel. And I always say, Priya, as your colleague pointed out while reporting on this entire episode, that proceeds of crime are very important. You know, be it proceeds of crime, be it the malafide intent, or be it a money trail. The money trail has been established. You know, I don't even vouch for the video of what was being said by Shubham Soni. But if you just look at the ROC, if you look at the company affairs websites, you will know that the promoters are Ravi Uppal, based in Dubai, and Saurabh Chandrakar, also based in Dubai. And Shubham Soni was an employee. Now, who's an employee, who's a promoter is not the question. The question that needs to be asked is one of the co-founders of Mahadev betting app scam, Saurabh Chandrakar, the cousin of Kshitij Chandrakar? And who is Kshitij Chandrakar? Kshitij Chandrakar is the son-in-law of Bhupesh Baghel. Kshitij Chandrakar is married to Bhupesh Baghel's daughter, Divya Chandrakar. So you look at it from any angle, from any perspective, Priya, the buck stops at the doorstep of Bhupesh Baghel. And यहाँ पर ED को बदनाम करके CBI को, मोदी सरकार को, you are not going to, shoot and scoot. Because the Supreme Court has also said in an iconic judgment, I did not heckle you.
We'll come to everyone one by one. But since Sanju Verma mentioned Shubham Soni, Bhavtosh, I would like to bring you in on this. So far, we only knew about Saurabh Chandrakar and Ravi Uppal. How much legitimacy can one attach to whatever confessions this sudden character who's emerged today, Shubham Soni, says? What is his exact locus standi that we know about?
Well, his name first appeared when Ravi Uppal as well as Saurabh Chandrakar issued a statement in October when name of several Bollywood celebrity came out and they were issued summons by the Enforcement Directorate. At that point of time, both Saurabh as well as Ravi claimed that one of the owners of Mahadev app, who is Shubham Soni, was based out of St. Kitts. Nothing much happened till last Friday when ED, in fact, in one of its remand note, mentioned that Shubham Soni, who is based out of St. Kitts Island, has given an email statement. And in that email statement, he has said that the protection money over a period of time allegedly was paid through quote-unquote Verma ji, and it went to Bhupesh Baghel, who is the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh. Now, this is what ED has claimed in its remand note, and it virtually opened Pandora's box. And there was a war of words between BJP and Congress. And that's where Shubham Soni's name first appeared in the ED's remand note. And it's being said by the Enforcement Directorate in its remand note, which has now been submitted in the court, that he has given an email statement. Now, as far as Money Laundering Act is concerned, PMLA is concerned, statements are generally recorded before an investigating officer.
All right, we seem to have lost that line with Bhavtosh, but Binay Singh, the point that was being made was that there is a lot still that needs to be established. There will be investigations, but the Congress is saying, and in fact Baghel himself said, that ED note was actually like BJP's second manifesto, that because it is poll season, because BJP thinks that they are facing an imminent loss in the elections, they are indulging in character assassination.
Look, this is no secret. What is happening in Chhattisgarh and what is happening in Jharkhand, the state from which I come from. There are so many scams, super scams like the liquor scam. Both the governments are involved. Same contractors are involved in multi-states, multi-cases. So I find a modus operandi in this. Look, I start from Jharkhand, in fact, from my state. In 81 MLAs, the Congress leadership, senior leadership sitting in Delhi, they find suitable independent MLA named Madhu Koda to be the CM. Why? Because he was very intelligent? Because he was very, decent or dashing? No. They want a weak candidate so they can make scams, they can make money. The money will be siphoned off to Dubai, to Delhi, to the bosses of the Congress party, to Mumbai. And when the cover is blown up, he is made a scapegoat. Same thing happened in Chhattisgarh. Either you make a corrupt person to be the CM, or you chose a very weak person to be the CM. And when the same modus operandi is there, when the cover is blown, you will disown them and you will make them the scapegoat. There was a scam, and not just Mahadev scam, multiple scams, and all these scams are in public. You go and you just talk to the common people. You don't need to talk to the senior police officials and don't need to make a sting also, operation also. You talk to the simple people because they are victims of this scam. They know who is patronizing them. Chhattisgarh is a very small state. Everybody knows everyone. Everybody is connected to everyone. And such a massive scam that it wouldn't have been possible without the blessing of the state head, without the blessing of the CM. And when a person, you call him an accused, but there is a term in law that he is an approver. So that person who is blowing the cover off, who had been part of this scandal of this scam, he will be treated as an approver according to the Indian law.
Right, but sir, as the court said in Sisodia's case, how can you trust the testimony of a person who is also accused in the case and has later turned approval? There has to be evidence apart from the testimonies. Is there evidence?
Look, there is not. No, what I am telling that this is not few crores or few lakh rupees. There is a truckload of money, truckloads of money.
Okay.
And there is a forensic, footprint of that.
Sanjay Hegde.
So that is on part of the agencies.
And ED Note has also spoken about forensic analysis, but Sanjay Hegde, who in this case seems to be the scapegoat and who seems to be the mastermind pulling the strings?
Well, that only an investigation and an honest, impartial investigation will tell. But please do look at the timing. As the Chief Minister was saying, that this happens in election season. And the very fact that just now they have banned the app, though they could have banned the app at least a year ago, itself tells its own story. Now, the point is that why is it that the ED is the investigating agency of choice? The ED is the investigating agency of choice because previously it used to be the CBI. The CBI needed permission of the states to investigate within the state, and now the ED has found a workaround. Wherever there is an electoral dysfunction, the ED steps in. And the ED has vast powers, basically because the act, which was originally designed only to look after arms money and drugs money, that is our international obligation. We have now expanded the scope of that act to put in everything and every crime as a predicate offense. The ED then says that, look, a crime has happened somewhere. There is some money somewhere else. We will start investigating, and then we will prove that it is the proceeds of crime. The ED keeps on doing it, whether it has been in Delhi, whether it has been in Chhattisgarh. And I heard the gentleman speak of so many scams, but do you know that in Chhattisgarh, and I've appeared in the matter, there was the former chief minister whose name, whose initials and the initials of his officials were all found in a diary. That was called the civil supplies or the NAN scam, where against ration cards, a lot of grains got diverted, and there were money trails directly to the CM's house and to officials close to the CM. That's still not been investigated, but the Congress has been in power for the past 5 years. They can't blame anyone. The matter is also stuck in the courts.
Sir,
right now, just 1 minute before.
Okay.
I saw that ticker saying that Times Now does not verify this. I should warn you, in law, that even if you put a ticker like that, you are still responsible for what you put out. And if there is a defamation matter, it is no kind of defense to say we put out a ticker that so and so said so. When you put out something on your platform or on your channel, you are supposed to also be publishing it, and you would be liable. I've made that's a legal point. Your lawyers should look into it.
Sanju Verma, who exactly is using satta for satta?
Priya, with no offense to Sanjay Hegde, while his introduction reads as senior advocate, we all know that his loyalties lie with the ... alliance. His allegiance to the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party is well known and in the public domain. So what he says, is not a neutral point of view. But be that as it may, I just want to highlight a couple of facts. Anybody who has even an iota of common sense, you don't need to know legal jurisprudence, knows that when a witness turns into an approver under the Indian Evidence Act of 1872, which was subsequently amended in 2000, 2002, 2005, blah, blah, blah. And when there is electronic evidence, it is admissible in a court of law. And point number two, let's first ask a few questions. ये जो बार-बार कहा जाता है, ED's powers have been expanded, ED's conviction rate is very low. Point number one, ED's conviction rate in money laundering cases is 96%. That of CBI's is even better at 97.3%. But that is not the moot point. Moot point is this. You guys keep talking about timing. BJP ने अभी इंतजार किया elections का, and the moment the BJP realized that elections are around the corner, it used the enforcement directorate. To that, my simple rebuttal is this. A money laundering case against D.K. Shivkumar, the CM in waiting in Karnataka, was initiated way back in 2017-18. The tax evasion case with respect to National Herald, under which both Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are out on bail, has been going on since 2013-14. Point number three, the money laundering case against Ashok Gehlot's brother, Agrasen Gehlot, has been going on since 2016. Talking of Manish Sisodia, Satinder Jain and Sanjay Singh, जो लोग यहाँ बैठकर भाषण देते थे, that Sanjay Singh, Manish Sisodia and Satinder Jain को भगत सिंह का अवतार है और इनको भारत रत्न मिलना चाहिए. I want to ask a question. If all these people who are currently out on bail, why is it that none of the courts, be it the trial court, be it the high court, be it the Supreme Court, have given bail to these so-called accused?
Sanju Verma,
that the ED is carrying out a witch hunt? Please wait for 1 minute. Why is it that Manish Sisodia has not been given a clean sheet?
No,
Why
but
has Agrasen Gehlot
Sanju
not been given
Verma, we get your point. This point has also been made when Sisodia was denied bail, when Kejriwal was summoned, and there are no elections taking place in West Bengal where also a crackdown is going on. But since you mentioned timing, now Congress says and Baghel says that we were the ones who first started the prosecution. We were the ones who filed FIRs. 75 FIRs were filed. We were the ones who arrested 429 people. When do you see anybody who's complicit in a scam cracking down on the people who supposedly, if the allegations are true, should be their own?
Okay, that's a very interesting question, Priya. Let us assume that the ED is saying something and Bhupesh Singh Baghel is saying something. It is somebody's word against somebody else's. Let's assume that for a bit, hypothetically speaking. I want to ask you one thing. How is it that these SP of Durg, Abhishek Pallav, who's a decorated officer, he says Bhupesh Baghel was aware of this scam for the last 3 to 4 years and did nothing to actually nail the offenders. He tried to scuttle the probe, and that is the reason Abhishek Pallav was forced to resign. Are you seeing ASI Chandrabhushan Verma? He is also...
Kamru Choudhary, yes, please respond.
This lady misrepresent the facts out here. If you don't let me counter this lady...
No, I am letting you counter. Please come in. Sanju Verma, let him respond.
It's totally false that this BJP
Sanju Verma, let him respond.
spreading out here.
Sanju Verma, you've made your allegations. There are two men in uniform who have...
point out here.
Yes, please go. Yes, Mr. Kamru Choudhary. Sanju Verma, please, I request you. Please let him speak.
Priya, please ask this lady to please keep quiet.
Sir, I just did that and she's
point out
kindly
here
agreed.
is that
Please go
the
on.
Scam was...
Talking trash on national TV day in and day out. You peddle falsehoods with
This
rabid
scam
impunity.
was unearthed long before ED even came into the scene. Now tell me one thing, Priya. The Mahadev betting app scam, that is a multinational scam, multi-state scam. Was the central government and the finance ministry with all its watchdogs sleeping all these years? Who are the beneficiaries of the Mahadev betting app? Will we ever know? This is the first question. The second question is that, second question that I am coming.
Yes.
Coming to the second question, Priya, if you permit me, I cannot speak over the lady.
Sir,
tell me, before 2019 election, the Election Commission of India seized 3,500 crores. Do we know after 5 years from whom the money was recovered? Who were the beneficiaries? Where did the money come from? We don't know. So 3 days before the election, the BJP party and its powerful campaigning tool, the ED, comes out and brings out carnage into the public domain.
Sir, while I get your point about the timing and the politics around it, this is the ED note, and this is not a BJP manifesto, which says that there is one ASI, Chandrabhushan Verma, who acted as a liaison for Mahadev online book promoters. He was acting as a bridge between Mahadev promoters and Chhattisgarh political executives to ensure protection from Chhattisgarh police. Without going into another case of 3,500 crores, can we talk about this one? These are some allegations that will be very difficult for the Congress party to answer.
This is the way the BJP party is trying to spread carnage about the Congress party and its leaders.
What canards?
We are not going to take this on live television.
Yes, sir.
Without
what canards?
Proof, Amit Malviya, the kingpin of fake news factory, comes on Twitter and it links immediately with Bhupesh Singh Baghel. What authority, what proof do these people have? If they do not have, will they catch their ears? We never know. Just shoot and scoot politics by the BJP party out here. This is not the way that politics in this country should be.
Sanju Verma, nobody can deny the fact that prosecution and trials in these cases take forever. With just 48 hours, actually less than 48 hours to go for the first vote to be cast in Chhattisgarh, is it an attempt, as Congress alleges, to just win a battle of perception, to create a certain kind of perception in the minds of the voters, and then once election gets over, then who knows how long the investigation is going to take and what the fallout will be?
Okay. You know, Priya, let's be very clear. You know, people who say that why this scam has exploded now. This scam has exploded now because Bhupesh Baghel used the powers of the state machinery to ensure that a probe was scuttled and the truth, you know, was absolutely obliterated, for want of a better phrase. And I just want to reinforce what I have been saying right from the time your show started. 3 men in uniform, 3 senior police officers, Bhim Yadav, Chandrabhushan Verma and Abhishek Pallav have named and shamed the Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel. ये कोई बीजेपी ने नहीं बोला अभिषेक पल्लव को कि भाई साहब आप भूपेश बघेल का नाम लीजिए. Point number 2, a money trail has been established. Point number 3, proceeds of crime have been duly established. Point number 4, mala fide intent has been established. Point number 5, and the most important point, there are key people who have turned approver and their testimony is going to be admissible in a court of law. And the last but not the least, the most important question, Priya, is this. Is there or not a 2,161 crore liquor scam which traces its origins to Bhupesh Baghel's doorstep? Yes, the investigation is going on. Is there a 5,000 crore chawal scam? The entire investigation traces itself back again to Bhupesh Baghel. Is there a 540
digress from the issue at hand over here, because politically speaking, this is the biggest hot potato. Sanjay Hegde, given the presence of what Sanju Verma says, proceeds of crime, money has been recovered. There is a person, Asim Das, who does allege that the money was meant for political figures in the state. How legally viable does the ED's case seem to be right now, with the available evidence?
Right now, the ED is at a stage of investigation. You can't say proceeds of crime. Now, let me explain what proceeds of crime is and which kind of proceeds of crime the ED is concerned with. Supposing there is money which is stolen, and then that money is layered or brought back into the normal banking channels and tried to be legitimized, then that is proceeds of crime with which the ED is concerned with. However, the ED now these days gives a very elastic definition to proceeds of crime. A crime happens somewhere. It may concern money, it may not concern money. Everything is proceeds of crime, and the ED merrily goes on. This could have been a corruption case. This could have been a case of no income tax being paid. There is money which is seized in a variety of circumstances. The ED has to make out a case that this was a specific predicate offense under the schedule to the PMLA. Money was generated from there, and then that money was sought to be layered. There is nothing of that kind. Then I heard a lot of the word approver being freely tossed around. In law, the word approver comes in only after, when there is a trial, there is an application for somebody to turn approver, and then his evidence is recorded. We are nowhere near any trial stage.
Unfortunately, Sanju Verma and Mr. Hegde, I'll have to interrupt. Both of you have completely run out of time in this case. The trial will go on, but there is also a trial of public perception. Who's going to win that? That test is going to happen a day after tomorrow. Thank you, gentlemen, and Sanju Verma for joining me on this debate. We take a very quick break.